which means cross monastery. And the uniqueness of the Jvari monastery is that it never was destroyed or rebuilt. So it's the original building from the 6th century, and it stands how it was built by the Mtskheta, which is very unique because most of the churches in Georgia, almost 99%, were rebuilt because they were damaged by the time, by the invasions, but Jvari monastery somehow survived and stands, it's an original building from 6th century, which is again very unique. So now we can go there and you will have a view of old capital of Georgia, Mtskheta. We can go inside also. Of course, it's not from that time, but the base and this foundation for the cross is original from 4th century. On this foundation, main road which goes to the west side of Georgia. Now it's heading to the north, but then it turns left and it goes to the west part of Georgia and to the southern part of Georgia also. But it goes as well directly north to the Russian border. And it's a very important road nowadays because it's kind of a transit way to Russia, and it's transit road for many countries like Georgia, Turkey, Armenia, Russia, Belarus, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan. So when you go to this to the Kazbegi region, which is on that direction, you'll see lots of trucks coming from Russia or going to Russia.
How many kilometers?
From here, approximately 160 kilometers, the border. But it takes approximately 4 hours to drive because it's a mountainous region. So you have to go to the pass, which is 2,400 meters. Ukraine, thousands of Russians came to Georgia and stayed here. So we still have lots of Russians, thousands of Russians in the country. When Putin second wave we got after Putin announced this mobilization in Russia. So every day, like 6,000-7,000 Russians were crossing the border, and it was kind of the movie, if you have seen about zombies when they attack the Jerusalem, and at the wall Jerusalem, like thousands of zombies. It was same at our border. The closest town from Russian side is Vladikavkaz, which is 50 kilometers away from there, from the border. So there was so much people and so long queue and traffic on the road toward the border that thousands of people lefting their cars in Vladikavkaz and walking from there, like 50 kilometers toward the border, just to escape this mobilization. Not because they did not want to kill the Ukrainians, just because they did not want to be killed and died in the war. So when they came to Georgia, they were saying that, oh, we don't want to kill the Ukrainians, that's why we came to Georgia, escape. But they don't want to be killed. That was the main reason.
Only men become.
No, only mostly men, but many of them with their families. But mostly young men. So in 2022 we got 100,000 Russians in Georgia who were constantly staying in Georgia, and with that 100,000 Georgians in the same year left country, mostly young people, and moved to Europe, to different countries.
Are they still coming nowadays?
Russians?
Yeah.
Now it's a bit less, so many Russians are coming, but many are going back, or they went to different countries, to Armenia or to Turkey, and then from there to Europe. But still we have thousands of Russians in Georgia, thousands of Russians. Monastery on the slope of a hill, that's a place which we just visited. Soon we will be in Mtskheta, and in Mtskheta, from the parking, we will walk to which is at the front of us. So we have lots of souvenirs shops there and some cafes. So from parking we will go directly to the church, to the Svetitskhoveli cathedral. We will visit the cathedral, and then church was built, and where the robe of Christ was buried. So, but it was a wooden church, and of course it did not last a long time. And then in 5th century, our king Wahtan Gorgasali, we will see his grave here in the church, built a small basilic from the rocks on the place of a first church. But again, because of invasions, because of time, the church also was destroyed for 10th century, and then George I, with the blessing of the patriarch the Melchizedek I, built this church in 1010. But unfortunately, because of time and because of invasions was one of the main reasons why the churches were destroyed generally in Georgia. This church is rebuilt and reconstructed several times. And the walls and the frescoes were damaged, and unfortunately most of the frescoes were destroyed, and we got only some small pieces of fresco painting here. And these frescoes are mostly from 16th and 17th century. So none of the frescoes survived from the 11th century when the church was built and made the first fresco painting. In the altar, in the top of the altar, the fresco of Jesus Christ or the God is one of the best. Is one of the best frescoes in Georgia because the face is very sweet and very monumental. Also, this is a time in 10th and 11th century when in Georgia they built.
What? You speak Russian?
No.
Okay. Here it's coming. It's Saint Andrei the First. It's small pieces his foot.
Okay.
You will see inside. It's small pieces.
Because like 300 mountaineers who were late in the fight sacrificed themselves. They all died and let him to escape from the battlefield. Otherwise, he could get taken as a hostage by the Persians. So he did not want to leave the battlefield, but his grandchildren, he had more than 20 children. So